Something strange is happening in the US. So ports that are actually usually very busy and bustling, always having activities going on, are actually sitting very quietly. And a bunch of ships are nowhere to be seen. This is actually making a lot of people be in fear.
This is not a joke. This is Shanghai right now. Every one of these circles is a cargo ship just sitting there. Now let's take a look at America. This is LA, one of our busiest ports. Literally nobody's there. And it's not just LA. Here's Seattle, nobody's home, and here's DC. Also, no one's here. And just for reference, here's China again. This is not good. These articles aren't lying. Huge decline at LA ports is a hit to truckers. Empty shelves are looming for this summer. This is basic supply and demand. None of these ships are coming to America, so we're gonna be having a low supply. A low supply means that the price goes up, so not only are we gonna have to pay for Trump's tariffs, we're also about to get destroyed by price hikes. It's obvious that the wealthy don't care whether we eat or not.
Hi, welcome back to this African Perspective. Thank you for stopping by. So we're going to be checking out videos on the ports actually being empty. I made a video not too long ago about the tariffs. We're all panicking that things are going to be very expensive and very unaffordable for a lot of people. So this is actually very, very scary. You even hear that truck drivers are actually losing their jobs. So too many things are just, happening right now. Before we get right into this video, I want to give a very big shout out to Kay Taylor for sending me a $5 cash app. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I appreciate you. Please make sure you click the like button. It helps with the algorithm and I appreciate that so much. Let's get right into this video.
America is about to learn how good we actually used to have it. The ports are empty. Food isn't coming in. Goods are not coming in. Everyone who works in the shipping industry is saying we are about to face a crisis much bigger than the empty shelves during COVID. We have felt entitled in this country to freedom, to democracy, to human rights, to unlimited food and crap to buy. We got lazy and we did nothing to maintain those freedoms and those rights. We assumed that other people would do it. We stopped valuing our own education. We stopped reading. We stopped being kind to other people. We got completely hell-bent on having more stuff, on having more money, on having more whatever, having more fucking Botox in our faces. It's a false ladder that we were taught to climb. And I don't know if this current iteration of Americans has it in them to survive the Great Depression, Part 2. But I don't know if we're going to have a choice, babe.
So the government's not going to openly tell you guys that the ports are empty right now. They're not going to openly tell you that you need to stock up on supplies and that we probably got about 2 weeks left before this shit comes to our doorstep. So China has officially stopped exports to the U.S., so expect to see empty shelves in about 2 weeks. Of course, not everything, but the stuff that we will have is probably going to be about 10 times the amount. Expect to see hospitals closing down, as Hong Kong is one of the largest suppliers of hospital goods in the U.S., so there's not going to be many supplies. Expect to see a lot of layoffs. If products aren't coming in, that means truckers have no goods to move. Therefore, the logistics companies have really nothing to do. And then possibly hitting people who work retail, because if there's no items, no goods to put on the shelves, what are you guys going to do? And this isn't to say that things won't get back on track, but it is going to get ugly before it gets pretty. And if we're already not getting shipments, then we're going to get hit. And if China does decide to send goods, it's still going to take some time for everything to get back on track. So expect to see delays no matter what. I advise you guys to stock up on supplies now. Don't panic and make a plan while you still have time.
Have you guys seen the ports? If you haven't seen the ports, go ahead and look in your search bar for Los Angeles ports or Seattle ports, because it is being reported they're an absolute ghost town. And the last ships are coming in at the end of this month. And on the East Coast, it's not getting any better. The last ship coming in from China is targeted for May 10th. And if you look at ports in China, the largest port in China, it is an active, busy hub. So it shows you it's not something that's sweeping the globe here. This is not COVID. This is more directed. This is direct effect of Donald Trump and his tariffs. And I'm not going to come in here and fearmonger and say we're not going to have anything, but you better believe if ships are not docking and they are not taking goods off those ships and they are shipping empty, 40+% of ships are shipping like empty or close to empty. What do you think that's going to happen? The only logical conclusion is there are going to be less goods on the shelves. And it's not only going to be, your toys and electronics and things that you can get by without during a recession. It's going to be food, vegetables, fruits, grains, all sorts of things like that we import. We import a lot of beef and pork and things like that. Even though we have it here, we also import a lot of food as well, a lot of other meats from other countries. And you're going to see a drastic change in the next coming month. In the grocery store, in the retail shop, Walmart CEOs, Target, Home Depot, those CEOs sat down with Trump and said, look, the shelves are going to be barren. We are going to be in a huge issue. And even if he stops the tariffs today and says, oh boy, it was a huge mistake, that doesn't just turn around. So I myself am going to be going to Costco and buying some of those staples, making sure I have a big ass bag of rice, some beans, toilet paper, whatever. I'm not saying panic shop, don't panic shop, but just make sure maybe you buy an extra of what you normally buy. Get yourself a little bit of extra shelf-stable foods so that you make sure you have something, because these ports, they're empty. That's not hyperbole. That's not fear-mongering. That's just the truth. And two, you're not going to have those things on the shelf. We're not getting them in from these countries. When the ports are empty, the shelves will be empty. And this is all thanks to one man and his stubborn ignorance, just absolute nonsense, and having no understanding of how anything works in this world. We saw it the first time around, and we knew it was going to be worse the next time. So here we go. Welcome to Trump's world.
You can see that the price of things have been rising consistently, and the scary part is mostly when things go up, they never come down. When the price of things just go up, I rarely see the cases where those prices come down. Now, this is what your president have to say about this.
Maybe the children will have $2 instead of $30, and maybe the $2 will cost a couple of bucks more than they would normally. But we're not talking about something that we have to go out of our way. They have ships that are loaded up with stuff, much of which, not all of it, but much of which we don't need. And we have to make a fair deal.
Want to know why the ports are empty? The US dollar is losing its value. That's why. I don't want to hear about fix your credit. I don't want to hear no lies about my side hustle made me $20,000. I make more money on my side hustle than I do doing my regular 9 to 5. I don't want to hear none of that bullshit. Do you have any eggs? Do you have any cows or goat in your backyard? Do you have any chickens? Right now is the best time to start utilizing our natural instincts. I am so fucking serious right now. If you know how to fish and hunt, you better do it. And if not, you better fucking learn. Don't know how to grow anything? You can buy a little grow kit off of Amazon. Y'all better start doing something. Because the ports are empty and the US dollar is losing its value, and eventually there's going to be famine. That's what it's going to come down to, to survival of the fittest. Either you know how to survive or you don't. Aesthetics don't help you survive, baby. These little neutral colored couches and damn pictures y'all got on the walls and the little tapping of the coffee cups and shit, that's not going to do nothing for you in the next couple of weeks. Y'all better learn how to eat. And you better learn how to hunt, and you better learn how to grow some shit. And I'm not even going to hold you. If you want to grow it, you better grow it now, because when it gets summertime, watch that heat be so hot that not even the plants and the fruits will be able to withstand it. I promise you that. The days of living the luxury lifestyle or portraying the lifestyle of luxury are over. It is time to learn how to survive out here in these streets. I'm dead ass. All right? I am so fucking serious. Get you a bread maker and start making you some bread. That's what you need to be doing, because shit is finna get real fast.
The U.S. ports are empty, and that's obviously because of the tariffs. And so I'm just counting down the days till people start going crazy in the grocery stores. Like, if the grocery stores are going to have less and less product because now everyone is aware that the ports are empty, meaning no product is coming in, so the shelves are going to start to, not be replenished. Yeah. People are going to start going in there and going crazy. Now, whether they buy the items in bulk and, you know, like do that whole thing, or they just grab the items and run the fuck out of the store, I don't know. But I'm not really blaming anyone regardless, because this is what the fuck happens. Like, the tariffs have literally caused the ports to be empty. If the ports are empty, let's just context clues, that must mean that there's not going to be anything to put on the shelves, because there's nothing at the ports to collect, to take to the stores in order to stock the shelves with. There's nothing there. The US ports are empty. Here the fuck we are. I don't know if I'm gonna have to start growing shit and learning how to farm and shit. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm just seeing the pattern right now, and it's not looking cute. Nothing in the US ports, bitch. I think the people are about to go crazy in these stores. I really do.
I live right off the Gulf Coast, and look, these ports, they are struggling right now. I went down to 3 separate major ports, and as you can see, these ports are all empty. They are usually filled. I'm talking about filled. You can see shipping containers right up to these gates behind me. And now there's loads of trucks around here with empty trailers. I'm talking about empty trailers. Port workers are continuously complaining about this shit down here. But there's also reports of container ships having to literally divert their course to other states. And then the fact that I've been hearing a lot of reports of people not only losing hours, but facing potential cuts as well in the near future. Now, this is the Gulf, of course, so I can't necessarily speak for the rest of the country, but what I can say is that from the looks of the West Coast alone and all the videos that are coming out from those ports as well, you can clearly see a lot of similarities. Plus, I'm noticing more and more by the day that products in major retail stores are taking a lot longer to restock. Not only that, but you can already notice the obvious impact of the top shelves being completely empty, which is why I highly recommend that if you still have the opportunity to stock up, you need to. The more and more I scroll TikTok, the more I notice that people are barely even able to survive off of what they're even able to get. We as the people shouldn't have to suffer at the expense of the individuals that are making the decisions for us. Start potentially buying foods that have longer expiration dates and start eating more healthy. Focus on fruits, veggies. A lot of people don't realize how spoiled that we've truly become. And you also don't think that that shit can be easily taken away from you. I mean, I'm literally providing you with some sort of proof right now. You see those in there? Those are the only shipping containers in the entire yard. Those are the only shipping containers that have been in the yard for an entire week now. It's definitely a sign, people, and it's definitely a sign to start considering the impossible.
I'm gonna try to record this. This is like the 3rd time without being interrupted. So I was listening to Hassan Pike this morning about the empty shelves and that the ports are gonna be empty coming soon. And he was calling it the tsunami. And he's not joking when he says that, because if you look at it, once those last cargo ships come, that's it. It's done. Once they get to store shelves, that is it. And the fact that this is being compared worse than COVID is scary as shit. There's gonna be so much job loss, not job growth that our Trump keeps on touting, and the fact that the first people that are gonna get laid off are your transportation people. So it's gonna be like your trucking industry, your FedEx, your UPS, your people that work on the ports laid off. And then eventually people in the automotive industry will be laid off. And then it'll trickle down to your retail and your fast food and restaurants. Yeah, dude, this is a scary time. And I'm trying to keep calm in this, but I know the outcome that's gonna be probably, because I remember COVID and those grocery store shelves were crazy and the prices were insane. And the fact like we're going to that path, if not worse, is more crazy. I don't know, man. I think this is the turning point, though. The only good outcome of this problem is that you're going to see a lot of Republicans, a lot of Trump voters, and then, of course, all the Democratic Party try to get Trump out, in all honest opinion, because he's going to tank the economy. I mean, there's going to be a shit ton of job loss, and affordability at the grocery store is not going to be a thing. So with that being said, I think a lot of his supporters are going to be like, I didn't vote for this. I didn't vote for my job to be lost or me be laid off or until further notice, or I didn't expect my groceries to be this high, or if not higher, or now I can't get this special item at the grocery store because they don't know when it's going to come in. That kind of thing. And it's going to be a turning point for Trump. It's going to be a thing that's going to implode in his face. And I'm here for it. I think this is going to be the turning point, but at the same time, it's going to do so much damage to us as Americans and the economy. It is going to be so bad. But with that being said, I hope everyone keeps a positive outlook, maybe, or just keep your head on a swivel. And oh, one more thing, can we stop giving Kevin O'Leary, or the guy from Shark Tank, a platform? Because he was just on CNN and he was touting that he loves all these people being poor, that he loves this because it makes them want to try to be the 1%. Like, bro, I don't ever want to be a 1%. Give me enough money, like, I don't know, $500,000, and I'll stretch that shit out until I retire. I don't need to be making millions of dollars. I never wanted that. I don't think any American wants that. And if they do, I would hope they reinvested it in their community. But this dude is like crazy to say that he loves all these people being poor. And people idolize this guy because they want to become the 1%. Dude, I don't know. This world that we live in this timeline, is so fucked up.
I mean, you don't need anybody to tell you. When you notice that the ports are actually empty like that and things are just sitting still, that means you already know that buying and purchasing stuff is going to be tough and difficult. And not only that, things are going to be expensive and you can barely find things, okay, items that you need. And so now you don't need anyone to tell you that you need to actually stock up and buy stuff. You know what you're supposed to do if you do have the money. Now, sadly, there are a lot of people who do not have that money, the availability to, just go stock up on stuff, because that's the advice that you get from a lot of people. They tell you, go stock up on stuff, make sure you buy so many things and fill up your homes so you can, like, just in case, because that's what you're supposed to do. Buying in bulk actually saves a lot. It's the best thing to do. But what do you do when you don't have it? Like, that's the sad situation. A lot of people have been laid off. Many people have been unemployed for years now. And it's like, what are we supposed to do in a situation where times are hard like this? So there are many people who are needing help, many people who cannot help themselves in these hard times. And then there's like literally no assistance for people going through this. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching this video to the very end. I really appreciate you. Please make sure you click the like button. It helps with the algorithm and I appreciate that so much. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're watching me for the very first time. Hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video. And don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.